Welcome to today's episode where we're going to be baking 2 desserts and an entree. The entree will consist of filet mignon, risotto, and a side of broccoli. And the desserts, chocolate covered strawberry brownie bars. And the other one being shortbread caramel chocolate bars. In the spirit of Valentine's Day, we love our sweets. So we're going to start with the shortbread caramel chocolate bars, simply because it takes longer. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 1 cup of butter here, softened, and we're going to mix it with our sugar. And we're going to use our electric mixer here to whip it up into a nice yellowish paste. So you see that? That nice yellowish texture of the butter and the sugar. Now we're going to add our flour, our salt, and our vanilla extract, and we're going to mix it together. And this is going to form the base of these brownie bars, basically creating a doughy texture here. We're going to mix it up real nice with our electric mixer until it becomes real crumbly. You can hear how the mixer's slowing down. It's because we have not only a thick mixture here that's going to form the base of these bars, but our mixer sucks. It's from the 80s. It was a gift to my dad, and then my dad gifted it to me. So it's a family heirloom at this point. So this is a nice even texture here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop this. We're going to move on to the next phase. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our greased baking dish. It's supposed to be a 13 by 9, but you know, we went another route. It's almost the same size, we just don't have it. So what we're going to do is we're going to scoop out our base and we're going to spread it evenly into our dish. Now keep in mind, we have an oven that's preheated at 350 degrees, which we're going to let this go into for about 25 or 30 minutes, and then we're going to let it sit for an hour. It's kind of why we chose this recipe to start with. So now we have our base evenly distributed, and we're going to stick it in the oven. Oh yeah. Yeah, stick it in there. Now we're going to set the timer. With our base in the oven for the caramel bars, now's a good time to start on the chocolate covered strawberry brownie bars. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our brownie mix, and this is the same as any brownies you've ever made. 1 brownie bag, 2 eggs, 2/3 cup of your favorite veggie oil. Oh, and then don't forget 1/4 cup of H2O. We're going to put these bad boys back in our sweet electric mixer, and we're going to go to town. Now, isn't this fun? I can't think of a better way to spend my Sunday than beer time. Mick Ultra, where you at? 95 calories? It's the only option for someone who's looking to be fit and eat. Wow, after that beer break, we sure are mixing still. Now this is where you can lick these if you want, like some barbarian people do. Myself, I prefer to save every moist inch of brownie for the very end. So we're going to take our 9 by 9 baking dish. We're going to take some cooking spray, and we're going to go and then pour our brownie batter in and let that bad boy cook for 25 to 30 minutes. And once that's done, we're going to throw some strawberries on and the mixture that goes with it. Make sure to get all the brownie batter out, because that's just wasteful if you don't. Set it up a little bit, and then guess what? It's bottom oven. Open that up. Take the brownies. Stick it in. Yeah. Set the timer, 25-30 minutes. Woo! So while the desserts are baking, I think right now is a great time to start prepping our entree. As I said earlier, we have 2 fillets. I like to get 2 6-ounce cuts because it's really an 8 ounce for me and 4 ounces for Mia because, well, she doesn't eat it all. And then I like to season them generously. Onion and herb is one of my favorites. Sprinkle a little garlic powder as well. Get a little pepper. And we're going to do all sides of the fillet. And then a kosher salt, not grinded, to give it a nice coating around the edge. I don't want to do too much of that though, so we're going to sprinkle it off, and then we're just going to roll it around in the season. Try to get all 4 sides evenly coated. And I want to let the meat rest for probably 30 minutes before we do any kind of cooking with it. Pull it out of the fridge, let it loosen up. It becomes easier to cook and hit the center of the fillet itself. Probably put a little bit more around the edges. And this is really preference. Just depends on how much season you want on your meat, your steak. You can't go wrong. Unless, of course, it's a crappy season. Now that they're seasoned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap them up in foil and just let them sit on the counter until we're ready to cook them. Now that we have the steak sitting on the side, what we're going to do is we're going to prep our broccoli. Because with any great steak goes a vegetable. So we're going to start by just cutting off the tops. And you can cook these if you like, but I don't, so in the garbage they go. What we're going to do is we're just going to clean them up a little bit. And I like to leave them with the broccoli heads together when we steam them. And if you just turn over here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our all-natural vegan organic steamer and we're going to probably fill the base up just about 1/3 with water. So with our water boiling and our steamer steaming, now's a great time to put the risotto to work and the broccoli. So what we're going to do, we're going to dump our risotto into our big pot of boiling water. And we're going to dump 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to whip it. We're going to do it for about a minute. And then we're going to reduce the heat, put a lid on top. And then we're going to we're going to let it simmer. Yeah, look at that. You didn't see it, now you seen it. Drop it like it's hot. Have you guys heard the new Justin Bieber album that he dropped on Valentine's Day? I think now is a great time to start our steaks. Throw some oil on that bad boy, find my tongs, and we're going to cook on high. Please don't start a fire. Only searing it for a couple minutes on each side. With our steak seared, we're going to set our temperature on our Thermal Pro and put it in the oven. The steak's in the oven. We're going to set our temperature to 145 and then let it sit. So with the crust for our caramel chocolate bars done and cooled off, we're going to work on the caramel and chocolate sauce that goes over the top. So to make the caramel layer, what we're going to do is take almost 11 ounces of caramel and 1/4 cup of heavy whipping that in. And we're going to get our stirring spoon here, and we're just going to stir it up until we have a smooth caramel coat. And this will go over the top of our base. To get our chocolate layer, we're just going to put it in the microwave and do 30-second intervals. So with our caramel layer done, we're now going to just pour it over our base. Make sure we get it all out. Then we're going to spread it around so we get a nice even layer. Now with the caramel layer down, we're going to take our melted chocolate and we're going to pour it over top. That's going to be the top layer of this. And once we get it all out, what we want to do is just make another even layer right over the top of the caramel. Now the last part's real easy. With both of our layers on, we're just going to stick it in the fridge until it cools. Probably about 30 minutes. With the brownies pulled out of the oven and cooled off, we're going to work on the chocolate and strawberry covering that goes over the top of these bad boys. Now we're going to work on the chocolate strawberry layer that goes over the top of the brownies. So we have a cup of heavy whipping cream, and what we're going to do is stick that in the microwave for 1 minute. The idea is you want to get the cream hot because we're going to dump the chocolate chips into it, and that's going to melt it. Now while that's happening, we're going to take our strawberries, already rinsed, and we're going to halve them. And so it's real simple, right? We're just going to cut the top, garbage, half. Now these strawberries are kind of big, so I'm actually going to quarter them. Now that our cream's out of the microwave, what we're going to do is dump our chocolate chips into the bowl. We're going to let it sit. Stir it up a little bit. That way we'll have a nice chocolate creamy layer that goes over the top of these strawberries. So now we're going to take the brownies, and while our chocolate creamy mixture is melting, we're just going to place our strawberries over the brownie. Now with our whipping cream and our chocolate melted, you'll see it looks just like hot chocolate fudge almost. We're going to stir this up just a little bit more. We want it nice and smooth. And boom. Now we just pour it over the top. Doesn't that look yummy? We'll scoop it all out, and we're just going to try to layer it over. And just like last time, we're going to stick this in the fridge. Put it in there, let it cool, probably about 30 minutes. So the steaks came out, and I cut them into filet strips and laid them over our risotto with a side of broccoli. Time to eat. With the desserts finished, now it's time to try it. So here we are, friends, at the end of Soy Boy Kitchen Episode 3 Valentine's Day Special. We're going to try the desserts. By the way, the dinner was fantastic. Now we got a piece of the caramel bar. And we have the strawberry brownie. Now to give it a whirl. Wow. Snickers, watch out. Wow. Just wow. This dessert's incredible. Wow. Wow. It's almost like I baked brownies and put a strawberry on it. I'll tell you what, this has been a fantastic episode because I got a lot of dessert to eat. So with that said, I'm going to go hang out with my beautiful wife over on the couch and dive into this chocolate. It's very intriguing. Until next time, au revoir, as they say in Spanish. Enjoy what's left of your Sunday.